Good evening, everyone. Well, I would say good night, but not the point. So, as of recent, we have gotten our first maintenance preview. Well, for a while. Sorry. To the point. Celia is finally coming. Do you know how long I've been waiting for her? Personally, Celia, in my view, has been one of my top-notch units in a defensive play, especially since of just how she works, her mechanic in general, and how useful she can be. Alright, so let me get down to how Celia works. Celia, as I said, is a defensive play unit. All around, what she does is that she provides for your whole coverage on your team. So let's just put it like this. So you're getting attacked by an opponent, and after you activate her, like when your unit's about to die, you activate her art. She will absorb all damage that is received to your team and that unit. Basically, all damage that is being taken by your team is being dealt to her only. Now, I do not know how this works. Maybe it's all based upon her defense and her stats. That the damage is received, or it might be the damage is variable based upon all the stats from all your units on your team. So let's just say one unit has 3,000 defense versus one unit having 2,000 defense. Now, of course, she will probably be receiving more damage from the unit that has over 2,000 defense. I'm not so certain about that detail. If not, their mechanic is that she takes the damage based on her defense. So, like, say her defense is around 2,500, in the middle of both of those. She gets base damage from from her whole team on herself. That, defensive, her base damage received by that amount. Now, I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I said to you guys to keep your single target defensive gears. Now, the reason why I've said this is because Celia makes so much use for that type of gear and equipment. She will be probably the only unit you might be able to get out there that will have 100% coverage upon elemental type. Now, it is possible to prove what I just said, theoretically wise, because firstly and lastly, so in order to determine whether she defends based upon her defense or your team's defense, is based by this theory check. Now, as I said before, I will have to check this out myself. I'll have to see how this works. I personally, on my Japan account, I am not very, strong. And I do not know any of the gears, what they say or anything. So, I'm walking in the dark is a perfect term for that situation. Now, a good way for me to test this out is actually either using light, water, or dark, really. Mostly dark, in my view, because I have so much dark resistance equipment, I do not know where to start. Now, mind you, with that being said, Celia is as I said, very defensive type. But with that being said, she is also a very good offensive type as well. How is she good at offense? Well, firstly and lastly, she can actually debuff your opponent's attack or their damage, making it a lot more handy. Oh, I just failed to mention, Celia comes with the most beautiful abilities I've ever got to know. Now, this ability allows her to so your entire team gets hit by a status ailment, right? So, and her arc's up. Now, what's going to happen is that instead of your team receiving that status ailment, only she will receive that ailment. She literally absorbs all damage, including status ailments, onto herself. So if your whole team gets hit by poison or curse or anything like that, it only affects her. Now, I say this with a happy face and a smile because all in all, this makes it so much easier for a defensive play type player. Because, firstly and lastly, you only have to worry about one unit getting hit by status ailments. Secondly, you only have to worry about one unit being healed. And lastly, you only have to worry about one unit taking up all the damage. Now, with that being said, it also causes quite the problem, because you might need her to survive most of the battles. Now, a good way to prevent her from dying would be a revival equipment. There are a few revival equipments that run on this basis, which could help out during your combat. I've showed it off before. I'm going to show it off right now so that you guys could, use it on her so that she doesn't have half the hassle or half the problems. Now, it's, give me a second, here it is. Blessed Necklace. So, Blessed Necklace is actually perfect for her. That being said, it says automatically revives fallen ally with 50 HP, present HP for 20 seconds. Now, that timer is how long it lasts, which is, I gotta admit, so it's pretty good. That's why I have it at max. So that, and she also gets a 4-star healing equipment, so she can throw that on herself and throw it on herself, buff herself with it. And as I said, she knocks herself out, she gets instantly revived by her own equipment, making it so much easier to actually have a combat battle out the enemy. Now, I do not know who is nice. I will have to see who that is. I'm just very looking forward to Celia coming out and having her just make the battlefield all defensive play. Mind you, she is still used in Japan. For one, because like I said, she's a defensive play unit and she's very powerful for that defensive play style. And she's very good for also survival. So it makes it a lot more easier to use her in combat. I'm actually hoping just to get her on the first summon with my free crystals. I'm really hoping. And that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the game. Have fun.